From Minnesota to Texas, I'm Menexus, and today we are playing Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. I believe this is one of those novel games. I heard lots of good things about this, and I really wanted to play it. Another good thing is, from my last video I recorded, I have finally upgraded my microphone equipment. No more USB, it's now XLR. I'm excited to finally do a first official video using it, and all future podcasts with it as well. And I know I started another series similar to this. I believe it was called Find Love or Die Trying. I was planning to continue that. And then when I was swapping around all of my files and game stuff, and I had to make room for more things, and I was just trying to organize things, I ended up having to delete a couple things and bring them back. I didn't. Most of my games kept their cloud data, and I was able to reload everything. And for whatever reason, that game didn't save itself, so I would have to start the entire thing over. And I was like, you know what? I'll just play that another time. I don't feel like starting that one over again, but I decided that in the meantime, I will start a new one. And let's get back in the game of things here. Lucy. Achievement unlocked. Beginning light. Wait, this is controls? Okay, mouse. Oh wait, I wasn't done. Okay. The 3 laws of robotics. 1. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction. Allow a human being to come to harm. Okay. A robot must obey the orders given to it by the one possessing control or authority, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. Okay. Jesus Christ, the texting of that was hard to read. It was so close together. October 12th. You. Oh, I have to click. Okay. Modern Visual Arts Laboratory presents Scenario by SR. As I turn onto the main street, I reflexively cover my eyes. Neon signs are as blindingly bright as ever. And those animated holoverts are even worse. Oh, ew, that is ugly to look at. What? Whoever came up with the idea to add sound to those holos should be shot. They're all giving me a headache. This place has really changed in the last few years. Assuming I'm playing a male character. Korea's really come up in the world. All around, you can see signs of progress. Maybe a bit too fast. Too soon. Maybe if I just close my eyes. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this game is based in Korea. So I changed my audio text, or my audio sound to Japanese. I didn't know it was a Korean game. Nope, nothing's changed. In fact, the signs look even brighter. Maybe I'm just feeling a bit out of it. It could be the weather. Change of scenery is in order. I'll take a shortcut home. Get away from this visual audio assault. Programming, chaos, character CGUI, defender. Phew. That's better. Just what the doctor ordered. I can still hear the noise in the distance, but at least it's faint now. Gotta admit, this place has a spooky vibe. No one's around. Plus, the area looks pretty run down. Half expect a ghost to pop up as I walk along. Still, my eyes sure appreciate the break. A massive building on the side catches my attention. K Robotics Corporation Co? Okay. bet that's what it says on the main gates. One of the biggest robotic manufacturers. They're world renowned. Even I've heard of them. They get a lot of news coverage, being a frequent topic around school as well. The company's claim to fame are their advanced Android series. Not that I would know. Despite being bombarded by marketing everywhere, for me, I'm the kind of person who prefers analog clocks over digital. Pianos over synthesizers. Acoustic guitars over electric. And finally, real people over androids. I spot what appears to be crumbled hills of metal in the distance. Yup, their junkyard is my shortcut home. Totally illegal, of course. I don't intend to get caught. Cameo casting: Andrew Warner, Jayon Lim contribute. I'm trying to read these people. I'm trying to give them credit, man. Come on, give me a chance here. Ow! Fuck. I just cracked my jaw. Here we are, the scrapyard for all lost hopes and dreams. Everything here is automated. No one's watching the place. Well, there are these tin can-like bots that scurry around like spiders. Probably sort through all these junk for any good stuff. And then there's a lone sentry bot. As long as I don't let it spot me, no alarm goes off. It's worked for me so far. After all, robots are fundamentally stupid. Like my classmate told me. That company's dumping ground. I heard you can find some real goodies from time to time. If you're lucky, that is. Sadly, I've scoped this place out on previous trips, and so far I've come up empty. Guess Lady Luck's just not with me. Well, I can't tell what's useful, as I'm not really a robophile. Knowing me, it's probably both. Whatever. Didn't come here for a treasure hunt anyway. Forget about the scrap. This is only a shortcut home. Cutting through this place, I can shave off almost 10 minutes. Risky, but worth it. I intentionally ignored the no trespassing signs scattered all over the place. However, today was different. As I started making my way through, something caught my eye. Is that? Ahead of me, I can barely make it out. Squinting, I come closer. It looks like... Wait, a person? A woman, lying on the ground. She's not moving. Unconscious? And maybe she's hurt. Or something worse. Growing a bit concerned, I forget all about the sentry. Had I just stumbled upon a crime scene that might end up on tomorrow's morning's headline news? She needs help. And since I'm the only one around... I dash towards the fallen maiden to lend assistance. But as I get close, I stop in my tracks. I had to do a double take. That's no woman. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, I love the art style. Look at that. That's really cool. It's so close to the real deal. Two eyes closed tightly shut. Platinum hued hair that seemed to almost sparkle. From afar it looks like a person, but up close there's no mistaking it. An android. She looks very similar to the design of Chobits, the anime / manga. Useless piece of junk. Don't scare me like that. Although I've never owned an android, I've seen quite a few around me. The newest models look like the real McCoy, at least from a distance. That's pretty advanced tech, scary advanced. To prevent confusion, androids are imprinted with serial codes. Each model has its own unique number. I spot the android's code near its belly. I blow off the dust to get a better look. It reads P.I. PIM-001. Number 1, with a design that I've never seen before. Maybe it's a prototype. It looks brand new. If so, then what's it doing here? A failed experiment? It's caked with dust from head to toe. All in all, it's a pretty sad sight. It also hasn't moved a single inch. Looks like it's out cold. Hey, wake up. Curiosity gets the better of me. I decide to test it out. Voice recognition is a standard feature for all androids nowadays. Let's see if it responds to my voice. Nope. Hey, say something. Still nothing. Come on, they're gonna cut you open at this rate. I deliver a light kick to the robot's leg. Oh, this thing has animation too. Okay, that's cool. Oh, her eyes open. Look at that. Upon contact, it starts to show a sign of life. Its arms spasm as the thing chortles out beeping sounds. It's still pretty rigid. The scene looks like it was plucked straight out of an old sci-fi film. Looks like it's running on reserves power. I guess it's still got a bit of juice left. Whir. Those jittery those jittery movements are making me feel a bit nervous. A light in its eyes have yet to return. I begin to spot a pattern in its actions. It looks as if it's greeting me with a wave, trying desperately to keep my attention. I glance around. I hear a screeching sound nearby, the sound of metal being crushed. It's probably those little robots doing their jobs. I can tell that they're close. They'll probably reach this place in less than 10 minutes. And shred this android into a million pieces. Its existence will soon come to an end. I kinda feel sorry for this thing. I begin to sympathize with the robot, because I realized just how much trouble it was in. Despite being dusty, it's still in pretty good shape. With some polish, it looked pretty decent. Even in its current condition, the thing'd still be in service. If so, why was it chucked? What happened to its product launch? Looking at it like that, it'd be a waste. All of that hard work down the drain. Maybe with a bit of tinkering, I might be able to get it up and running again. Part of me was starting to pity the robot, but the other part was calling me an idiot. I don't need an android in the first place, plus I don't like them. To use one around the house, it's unthinkable, and my father will be none too happy about it. I prefer classical music over rock, classic literature over pulp fiction, and finally, humans over androids. Let's face it, I have no use for an android. Eventually this robot would be scrapped, with the old parts recycled, with the whole cycle starting anew. I love Alert. I love how he just looks totally not like the art style of what the robot was like. Intruder detected. Damn it. I've been spotted by that guard robot, the most troublesome one. If I don't make a run for it, I'm screwed. Leaving it would be the smart thing to do. I gotta go. See ya. We're gonna drink some water here. What is that? Lemons? Cherry lemons? That's what it looks like. It looks like cherries, but they also look like lemons. I don't know why I'm... Okay, it doesn't matter. There's gotta be something wrong with me. Wait, what? Oh, he brought it! But smart's never been my strong suit. Now I'm lugging this thing home, and I'm already starting to regret it. Back in my room, I tried to scrub some of the filth off its chassis. Chassis? I do the best I can with a rag soaked in water. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. That'll have to do for now. Guess it makes sense that the thing be waterproof, so no harm done. Now for the next issue. How do I interact with this thing? Hey, you. Whir. Its arms begin to flail. Respond! Whir. If you don't want to be thrown away again, just show me something. Anything besides flailing your arms? I take that as a no. Fucking funny. Should have left you in the junkyard. This is somewhat aggravating, like talking to a brick wall. This is why I hate machines. They're stupid. And this hunk of junk seems a few transistors short of a motherboard. I'm starting to get a little ticked off. Why do I even bother? Don't do something you might regret. This old saying has never been wrong. Okay, deep breath. Let's consider all possibilities. Maybe it's on reserve power. A recharge might do the trick. I grab a power cord and... Wait a minute. Hey, where am I supposed to plug this in? She fucking responds. It's funny. I've never used an Android before, so obviously I wouldn't know. Maybe your nose? Oh. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I don't think it likes that prospect. Perhaps it's trying to tell me that I'm wrong. I imagined the android with an electric cord up its nose. It'd be quite the sight. Try plugging it in. Don't try. Oh no, this is the decision-making game? Don't try. For comedic purposes, I'm gonna try plugging it in. Alright, come here, you. I approached a robot with a 220 volt plug in my head. Now I could definitely tell that it was panicking. Out of pity, I decided to not push it further. Then how should I power this thing? I examined the robot carefully. Maybe I've missed something. Huh? It's starting to jerk his body from side to side. It seems like it wants to turn around. Something on your back? Taking the hint, I checked the back of its head. Let's see. What have we here? There's a small compartment at the base of its neck. I remove its protective lid. These look like input ports. Bingo. Let's give it a go. Looping the power cable around, I plug it in.
Main system の起動成功.
Oh, she's speaking to me. Okay. Finally, we've got liftoff.
アプリケーション起動失敗.
Initiating application attempt.
電力不足システムのプロテクション起動中アプリケーション起動不可節電モードに移行警告所有者が登録されていません5秒後に所有者登録に移ります5、4、3、2、1
What the heck is going on?
正門確認一体何が始まるんだ正門記録完了
What? Hold on a second. I frantically latch onto the robot.
指紋確認脈拍正常体温正常指紋登録完了
Say what now? I let go of the robot immediately.
視覚情報スキャン視覚情報確認イメージ登録完了
It's on a roll. I don't think it's about to stop anytime soon.
名前を登録します所有者のお名前は何ですか
What is happening?
名前を確認します所有者
What is
の
happening?
名前はなんだよ一体
What do you
間
think?
違いありませんか名前の繰り返し所有者の名前は名前の登録失敗ステータス登録の保留完了以上です
Abruptly, silence. It felt as if a tornado had just ripped through the scene. I gripped my head in frustration. Ugh, I really shouldn't have brought this thing home after all. This is already the third time regretting it today. Why do I keep punishing myself? The robot's facing me. Its eyes still have that vacant look, like having a porcelain doll on the shelf. At least the creep factor has gone down a notch since it's moved. I decided to throw a few questions at it. Hey, I'm gonna ask you something, so listen up and try to answer. You can do that, right? Its head tilts slightly to the side. I take that as a yes. Better than expected given our track record. Moving on. Talk to myself, talk to the android. So, what exactly are you?
言葉の意味を理解できません。
You don't have a name?
モデル名ルーシー・バレンタイン PIM001
Okay. And what's PIM stand for?
Precision Instrument for Multipurposing PIM001
I love how she says the entire thing in English and then 00 and then I think she says like ichi. Actually, I'm assuming is Japanese for one.
ルーシーは既存の特化タイプに反し、いつどんな状況でも所有者のお役に立てるよう数百種類のさまざまな状況を想定し考案された多目的アンドロイドです。いくつもの新技術が集約されています。
That's a mouthful. Versatile. Latest features. I wasn't expecting those words from a piece of junk that can only move its arms up and down a moment ago. In short, your name is Lucy Valentine. The android named Lucy is waiting for my next words. Let's try taking a closer look. Oh, I can click on her? Yo! Looks as good as new after the wiping I gave it. I don't know, she looks a little dirty still. It possesses an alluring visage and a slender figure. Regardless of gender, I have to admit that it truly is a beautiful design. I spot something on its left ear. A receiver? The robot looks like a teenage girl. Guess that's what they were aiming for. I can tell that a lot of effort had been put into creating this android. And even I can tell it's a premium model. It'd be a waste to throw it away. I take a closer look at the android's eyes. They're blue and strikingly realistic. As expected from technology one whole generation ahead of LED lights. Those eyes do look quite real. Suddenly, those peepers shift over to me. Naturally, I meet their
眼
gaze.
球形態の高性能カメラが2つ搭載されています。人間と同じ感覚で物を感知することができます。
Is that so? I take it back. Creepy factor's still there. I decide not to look at them again. They make me feel uncomfortable. I take a gander at the robot's moist, glossy lips. Hard to believe those belong to the same robo clunky voice. Let's see if we can change that. What's the deal with your voice?
現在、音声関連のモジュールを使用しておりません。ルーシー・バレンタインは基本的に10種類の個性あふれる音声のプリセットを備え、各種イコライザー機能を内蔵することで数えきれないほどの多様な音声を派生することができます。
So I've got 10 choices? No reply. Why can't you use them right now?
ほとんどの機能は正常モードおよびプロテクションが解除された状態で、節電モードでは通常の 5% 未満に該当する機能しか活用できません。
And the solution is...
最低 20% 以上の動力が残っていなければ正常モードに移行することはできません。
How long does it take for a full recharge?
0を基準に睡眠モード時には合計8時間、通常モード時には合計
I hope the electricity bill doesn't go through the
時
roof.
間が必要です。
I can't believe I'm acting like a skinflint in front of a robot. That's just silly. Forget about power saving mode. What's system protection mode?
ほとんどの機能に制限があります。通常の活動のためにプロテクションの解除が必要不可欠です。
And how do we get to that?
わかりません。
Come again?
わかりません。何らかの必要性があり、ロック機能がかかっていると思われます。解除は望ましくありません。
Listen, you talking toaster. I'm this close to throwing you out. Well, I'll have to take it to a repair shop first thing tomorrow. When does that place open again? I decide to take a look at the robot's ears.
音声認識機能で相手の音幅、音色、音程などを分析し、対象の気分や意図をあらかた把握することができます。
I haven't asked you anything yet. I take a look at the body itself. The shirt's that's midriff fashion. It's quite exposed overall. For a male clientele, the chest area seems a little... Not that I care or anything. Can you move properly now?
モーションを構成するほとんどの模造筋肉パーツが正常に機能していません。
Which ones are you talking about?
デルトイド、アンテリオード、デルトイド、ミドレッド、デルトイド、ポステリオード、ペクトラリス、メジャー、クラビキュラー、ペクトラリス、メジャー、ラテラル、バイセプス、メディアル。
Okay, that's enough. What planet did this thing come from? From now on, try to keep things simple. Can you walk?
不可能です。
Keeps getting better. Fixing is the only option, it seems. I think I'm starting to get the picture now. Let's do a little recap. First, this android's name is Lucy Valentine. Second, it's supposedly a top-of-the-line model. Third, as of now, it's no better than a talking tin can. And there you have it. No choice. Guess I'll take it in for repairs. Not exactly rolling in greenbacks, but if worse comes to worse, maybe I can still pawn it for a little bit of change. It's not like I'll feel guilty about it or anything. Now, who'll actually fix you? Heard of this antique shop. It's close to my school, and they do robot repairs on the side. Looks like they're my best bet. I'll pay them a visit tomorrow, but at what time? I guess morning's the best option. I'll leave the robot with them and pick it up on the way home from school. That's it for now. Try to save up some energy for tomorrow.
5秒後に睡眠モードに入ります。5、4、3、 2、1。
That was pretty fast shutdown. That was slow as fuck. What are you talking about? I groan as I reach out to catch his falling body. I carefully place it against the wall and straighten out its clothes. Phew. What a day. I'm totally drained. I hope tomorrow will be more peaceful. Oh yeah, we get it. I'm not reading all that again. May 3rd. Wait, that was back in October. Holy shit. So it's almost been it's almost been a year since he's had her? Because it did say October, right? I've endured this far with just one goal in mind. There hasn't been a single day where I could rest. It's become natural to go to bed at the crack of dawn. I don't recall the last time I've been home. Thinking back, it's been quite a long while. 15 years. 15 years have passed since I've started this project. But the end is near. 15 years of hard work and determination. After all this time, the fruits of my labor may finally be realized. How long I have yearned for this day. I'd almost given up on you many times, but I persevered, and finally succeeded. I barely managed to hold back the tears. I remind myself that it's still too early to celebrate. I must restrain my exuberance. I'm teetering on the brink of complete exhaustion. I've been pushed physically and mentally to my limit. I've become a shell of my former self. The last 15 years have taken a huge toll on me. I cannot wait any longer. That is why. Please open your eyes. Lucy Valentine. Okay, so there wasn't a year on there. It just said a date. Oh, yeah, see, now it's back in October. So it's time jumping. So this must have been prior then, before they threw away the robot. Tap. I shut off the alarm by oh, that's right. He has an old-fashioned alarm. I groggily get up to check the time. The clock reads 6:30 a.m. Ugh, ick. That's like what time I go to bed. Why would I wake up at that time? School starts at 8 sharp. Takes 30 minutes to get there, so I have about 1 extra hour. There's plenty of time left, and I'm still feeling tired. Closing my eyes, I lie back down. I decide to catch some more Z's. After a brief moment, I get back up. I realize that I've been forgetting something. Come to think of it, wasn't there a... I look around for the android. And there it was. Dressed in provocative clothing, with a tall nose, luscious lips, and hair glinting in silver, the android named Lucy came into my view. Lucy! As I call out to her, I'm greeted by an immediate reaction. It seems to be revving itself up. It mutters something and starts to rise off the floor. A robot with looks no different to those of a real person. Also with a pretty face to boot. Don't get the wrong idea. Just because it's attractive doesn't mean I'm interested. Since it's a robot. In other words, it's like checking out a girl from a magazine, except that feeling is amplified tenfold in this case. Although technology is improving, a huge gap remains between humans and robots. You can't approach a person like you would a robot. No matter how close a robot can simulate a human being, machine and man will always be different. As I continue staring at the android, I think to myself, what kind of greeting should I be using here? Good morning? Did you sleep well? They all feel out of place. I decide to ask her condition instead. How are your battery levels?
100% チャージ完了。問題は見つかりませんでした。
Good to know. I let out a yawn as I make my way over to the bathroom. Finishing up my morning ablutions, I dry myself up with a towel as I head downstairs. Entering the living room, I spot a couple of plain sandwiches on the table. Grabbing one, I start munching down. It's always the same sandwich from the convenience store just across the street. While chewing, I glance around the living room. My father has already left for work. He always leaves early and returns late at night. Actually, he typically spends the night at work. That's how it is around here. I head back to my room. The android is waiting for me in the exact same spot. Looks like it hasn't budged an inch. As expected from a robot. Putting that aside, I start to prepare for school. While packing my bag, I start to wonder if the robot has any magical self-regenerating abilities. How do you feel now that you're fully charged? Are you able to walk? Its head slowly turns to face me.
下半身の関節部分に相当の負荷を感知。通常の任務を行うのは負荷よって修理を要求します。
Keep things simple, remember?
まだ歩けません。
Still? Aren't you a real pain? Anyway, I understand. I'm not even going to make the attempt to fix it myself. I'm way out of my depth here. I'll see what happens once I take you to the repair shop. Just about finished packing. Only thing left is the android itself. So, how am I going to lug this thing? What do you mean, how are you going to lug this thing? Carry it, place it in my backpack? What? Oh, how did you lug it to the place to begin with? I'm assuming carry it in my bag. I highly doubt you can put her in your fucking backpack. Guess there's no other choice. I kneel down facing away from the robot. Alright, hop onto my back. It tilts its head to the side, looking confused. After noticing that, I start to get a little irritated. Top of the line? Yeah, right. Am I supposed to explain every little thing? Listen up. Put your arms around my neck and climb onto my back. Can you do that? It follows my instructions to the letter.
確認要請。この方法で合っていますか？
Stop. She like choking him out. I collapsed to my knees in a coughing fit. Think I nearly blacked out there. Are you trying to murder me? There's no need to put that much force into it. Just do it enough to not fall off. Honest to God, I thought it was a goner. The thing's got a steel vice chokehold. This android should look to be a World Wrestling Champion. Okay, let's try that again. Second time's the charm. Rising off the floor, I brace myself for the extra weight. Huh? But lo and behold, it was deceptively light. I think I'm coming around to appreciating this first-class product. And liftoff. The weather's not too bad. The brisk autumn breeze is cool against my skin. I gladly inhale the crisp morning air, letting last night's stress melt away. The streets are still quiet, which is good. The less there are to see this, the better? Especially with what I'm lugging on my back. Let's see here. Where's the repair shop? If memory serves, it should be about 15 minutes away, which is a relief. As I'm not really what you'd call a fit guy. Not sure I can schlep this thing much longer. And now this robot's fidgeting. Hold on tighter so you don't fall off. It feels like I'm scolding a child. Hey, stop moving around so much. I can feel the android through my clothes. Its texture feels surprisingly similar to a human's. I noticed it yesterday, yet it manages to surprise me again today. And that's not the only thing. It's warm to the touch. It feels as if I'm carrying an actual person. Probably just its heating system. That would explain it. Wow. It feels just like a real person. I muttered to myself absent-mindedly.
冷却器および温度計は正常に作動しています。
Say what?
人間の温度を目安に精密な発熱量の調節を繰り返し行っています。
Good to know. Motherboards and microprocessors consisting of various computer chips. There must be 1,000 of those inside a single android. The heat emanating from the machine is as warm as human skin. It feels just like us, but it's not a real person, just an elaborate fake. Sometimes I fear what progress in technology would bring to the future. Do you know where we're headed? With a whir, the robot shakes his head sideways. We're going to a place that'll get you fixed up. When they begin the repairs, you need to be still and quiet, so they won't get distracted. Do you understand? Hey, I'm asking if you understood. Say something. Maybe it took my command literally. I just hope it got my message. Letting out a frustrated sigh, I resumed walking. It'll be about time for my classmates to head in. I began to hurry so to avoid running to anyone that might recognize me. I arrive at the place in an aching and huffing mess. Sure has the look of a small antique shop. Though mostly dealing in secondhand goods, they do dabble in robot repairs. Word is there's even a fixer who likes robotics, and that he's half decent. Normally I wouldn't be caught in a place like this, but these are unusual circumstances. Looks like a good old-fashioned shop to me. What? A customer already? Hold on a second. Talk about a grumpy demeanor. After a while, a man emerges from the back, scratching his head. See, that looks a little bit more anime-ish. And judging from that non-too-pleasant expression, pretty sure this guy's not an early riser. Stifling a yawn, he asks. Or stifling. So, what can I do for you so early in the morning? Unable to move my arms, I gestured at the android draped over my back with my chin. Can you fix this? Is that an android? Wiping his tired eyes, he gazes intently at the robot. Let me see here. I don't think I've ever seen this model before. I spot a glint of curiosity in those sleepy, half-closed eyes of his. He walks over to take a closer look. They just zoom in on him. Look, he's all fucking blurry now. Well, I'm stumped. Can't make out the model. It's probably some obscure model from an unknown company, or it's never actually been released to the public. Where'd you get this kid? Kid? Isn't this dude like our age? He literally looks like them the same. Well, how should I play this? You might call the cops on me, as what I did was clearly illegal, so what should I say? I found it lying somewhere outside. It fell from the sky. Tell him the truth. I don't know. This just sounds stupid. I mean, I'll just do the truth. The junkyard? You don't mean that company's junkyard. He tosses his thumb over his shoulder. I'm not exactly sure what he's referring to, but I haven't seen any other junkers around here, so yes, that's probably the one. You got some guts, kid. I hope you know how much the fines are. I know that anything in the world is free as long as you don't get caught. You're funny, kid. I like that. Well, guess it's cool with it. Wait a minute. What's this? A nasty frown forms on his face. Something wrong? Yeah, you could say that. Suddenly he starts fussing like a little kid. What kind of sicko would do this? Just look at it. The whole frame's ruined. Won't even be able to move around properly. Oh, it won't even be able to move around properly on its own. He was right. Pretty savvy of him to point that out. I guess he's the real deal after all. So you think you can fix it? It's not the main issue here. There's something more important. And what's that? Do you have the resolve to take proper care of an android? The resolve? Where'd this come from? Listen, androids break easily. They're fragile, they're sensitive, they're delicate. Do you get what I'm saying here? He emphasizes his point 3 times. That's how passionate he was about it. I can see that he really loves his robots, but at the same time he's starting to freak me out. He continues to rant. To a lot of people, androids are nothing but fancy toys nowadays. I mean, those kind of folks pay for my food and my bills, but whenever I hear about how they've been mistreating their androids, I tend to lose my temper. They don't understand how important these creatures really are to us. I unwittingly take a small step back. Creatures. This man just referred to an android as a creature. He's not right in the head. From time to time, there have been people who fall in love with androids. Not just carnal desire, I'm talking about people who are willing to spend the rest of their lives with androids, treating them as equals. It's a controversial topic that's getting more discussion. It's abnormally spawning from an advancing civilization with constant innovation in technology. As someone who's never seen it happen firsthand, I've always refused to believe it. I can't believe such people actually exist. An android simply lacks the intellect to be paired up with a human being. It's nothing but a glorified hunk of metal that can make our lives a bit easier. I'd rather spend my entire life with a monkey. These monkeys are actually living creatures, and they share many similarities with humans. This is my first-hand experience with such a case, and I feel more disappointed than shocked. He seemed perfectly normal. I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. I'll get it fixed, but you better treat it right. Got it? Really? I'm not the one who banged it up in the first place. Even so, I don't feel it's worth starting an argument over. Let's just get this over with. Crystal. Yeah, not a great kid. At least you listen when someone tells you something. Since we're all chummy now, how about lowering your price? Ha! Don't push your luck, kid. That was a full 180. So much for our budding relationship. You know what? Fine, half price, since you're my first customer of the day. I'm relieved to hear that. Any discounts are more certainly welcome. Great. Can you have it ready by the end of school? It's a pretty light day, so yeah, it's doable. He punches some numbers into his calculator, and he shows me the results. I was planning on charging you only about this much. What do you think? I blank out for a bit. There are a lot of video games that I've always wanted to buy. I also need to save up for new textbooks that I'll be using next year. This robot had better pay for itself. Fine, I'll pay you when I come back. Holding out my charged pocket watch, I glanced at the time. I've wasted way too much time here. An outdated gear clocker in this day and age? Oh, gear clocker. I like it. Has a nostalgic charm. I'm well aware that these type of watches are hard to find. But more importantly, this is my personal way of rebelling against a continuously developing society. Hey, you piece of junk. Can't you hear me? No response. I finally decide to address it by its name, Lucy. The robot immediately reacts. What's with this thing? I'll be back after school. Behave yourself, alright? The android wobbles his head back and forth. I'm hoping it understood me, and with that, I leave the shop. I hightail it towards my high school. I'm in second year. While running, a movie I saw recently springs to mind, an old sci-fi flick set in the year 2050. All these oldies seem to be lacking in one thing: creativity. A few showcase large-scale space battles, others with a flying vehicle soaring through the sky. Well, guess what? It's 2050, and we don't have moon-sized starships or flying cars zipping around. People still walk to school, people still drive normal vehicles, people still ride bicycles and skateboards. Some people still use old fountain pens and pocket watches like me. But there exists a single piece of technology that's become more prominent in our lives: androids. They're being used everywhere around the world. That's one thing these age films got right. Oh, the old school bell noise. I hate it. Ugh. Stretch. Big stretch. The morning bell snapped from my reverie. I dashed straight to my classroom. Please refrain from running in the hallways. A janitor android scolds me as I rush by it. This type has facial recognition software to report any transgressor, like me, except I simply cover my face, and there's no record. You gotta know how to exploit the system. Safe. Bolstered by my recent victory, I strut towards my desk with a confident swagger. I notice that the teacher's not in yet. I plunk down in my seat while still huffing. That was pretty close. Did you sleep in again? That concern-filled voice is coming from a guy sitting next to me. A clever-looking fellow. People usually refer to him by his nickname, Dr. Gears. That's because he's a real geek with a burning passion for robots. I, on the other hand, despise robots. And while I'd label myself an introvert, he's very approachable and outgoing. Moreover, our tastes and hobbies differ quite a lot. You'd think we'd have nothing to do with each other. But as they say, opposites attract. I know, weird, right? No, I just had some business to take care of. Really? This early in the morning? It's a long story. I'm cut short by a middle-aged man making his entry. Our teacher. A female assistant android trails behind. Let's talk about this later. I send him a signal. He returns a thumbs up. Lunchtime rolls by. Take out my freshly bought pieces of bread. Dr. Gears does likewise with a very appealing lunchbox. Two desks have been joined together. On mine, there are a couple of pieces of fried croquettes with a carton of chocolate milk. What the hell's a croquette? Croquets? Croquette? Fried croquette. I don't even know what that is. My friend, on the other hand, has quite a tasty spread on his, which he seemed to be enjoying immensely. I've heard that his maid and android makes it from every morning, and the food doesn't look half bad. Then again, anything looks better to a poor schmuck like me who eats bread every day. Problem with your food, or... Never mind. Problem indeed. I bite down on the croquette. Delicately piercing its golden crisp warm surface, a savory scent wafts forth. The sweet flavor of the dough mingles with the tantalizing aroma, creating a heavenly mixture. But that's not all. The creme inside unleashes softness as it slowly melts upon my tongue, for the vegetables in the mixture provide a strong, rich flavor. The eggs... Why did he go into so much detail about this food? By pleasantly blending in with the other ingredients. This refined taste. It must be. Had you going there, didn't I? Setting aside the sad excuse for a rougher substitute, I pose a question to Dr. Gears. By the way, didn't you once tell me you have a lot of androids at home? Huh? Yeah, around 6, I think. That's a high number. A typical household can't afford that many. Rumors that Gears from a well-to-do family. Why the sudden interest? It's nothing. Oh, wait a minute. He starts grinning like an idiot. Hey, your food's falling out of your mouth, you know. You're taking a liking to androids, haven't you? So you're calling off this little war of ours. More like a temporary truce. Good enough. Androids are simply amazing, you know? Truly the greatest invention that science has delivered since the beginning of mankind. There are quite a few types. My favorite's the maid models. They take care of all the chores and really know how to cook. On top of that, the female ones are all pretty cute. Sometimes I find myself admiring their beauty. You got one sick, twisted mind, Gears. Tisk tisk. Don't you know that people can achieve inner peace with beauty? It's been proven by science, you know? I shake my head wearily. I do admire his enthusiasm over something so petty, though, really. Look, it's what's on the inside that counts. What are you talking about? Appearance don't matter, it's still a crummy, stupid robot. Here's an example using people. Let's say there's a person with a pretty face, but he's a man. Does the fact that he's got a woman's face change anything? No, he's ultimately a man. Likewise, even if I see a beautiful android, since it's ultimately a robot, its aesthetics don't matter anymore. It just becomes an illusion. What I'm trying to say is that even a robot acts like a person. It's not. Therefore, all robotics are the same to me, and I dislike them all. I I guess you still haven't changed your mind. There has to be a reason why you brought it up, right? Normally you would have never talk about it. Well, yeah. If you're looking to buy one, I'm here for you, man. I'll make sure to fill you in on everything you need to know. I'm telling you, you'll be making the greatest purchase of your life. In response, I roll my cheeks in embarrassment. I'm not exactly looking to buy one. Could it be that you're worried about the price, my friend? Don't worry, I have some connections that'll have one dirt cheap. As long as I'm with you, there won't be any problems. No, it's not that. There's no need to buy one. Now, what do you mean by that? Fidgeting awkwardly, I wonder if I should tell everything. I found one somewhere. Found what? An android. You found an android? Yeah. Where? At the junkyard. Holy, you lucky bastard. Is it something like an IDX 358? Or 455? What model is it? Something that starts with a P, I can't remember. Someone told me it's a pretty recent model, but I haven't seen anything impressive yet. Might as well give it some time though. It was free after all. Now you made me curious. I'll be sure to pay you a visit soon. He pauses for a moment before continuing, as if he's trying to change the subject. Well, I'm certainly happy that you've taken interest in androids, but what? You should be careful. About what? You've seen them on TV, right? People who are obsessed with androids. They say it gets really tough to deal with as time goes on. Robots are robots. Humans are humans. You should never forget the boundary between them. Robots are mere tools designed to make our lives easier. Nothing more, nothing less. Being struck with lightning is more likely. Fall in love with a robot, that's just crazy. I know, of course. I don't expect it to happen to you of all people, but you know, better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. Alright already, I'll keep that in mind. He nods in response. Before I knew it, the day's last class finally came. At last another... Jesus Christ. I'm so illiterate, man, I swear to God. Day of school is coming to a close. But it feels like this lecture is lasting all eternity. It's like I'm stuck in molasses. The chalkboard is filled with scribbles that are barely decipherable, making it very hard to understand the lesson, which is painful enough already. Ugh. I can't take it anymore. The teacher's so awful explaining things. His words go through one ear and right out the other. Unable to hold back the incoming fatigue, I let out a small yawn, and glancing around, it looks like no one's doing much better. All these mediocre teachers have one thing in common: their teaching method. It's way too convoluted? A bunch of rotten snobs, that's what they are. And yet, time marches on. The teacher's dreadful onslaught of words ultimately comes to an end. Watching a politician's speech is more riveting in comparison. All that's left now is to go home. Time to get out of this place. I pack my belongings hurriedly, waving goodbye to Dr. Gears as I start to head home. Did you forget about the robot? I nearly forgot about the android. I almost ended up going straight home. I doubled back towards the repair shop. Arriving, I peek through the windows. The place is not too busy, but no sign of the repairman. Wasting no more time, I head in.
Antique shop へようこそ。
As soon as I set my foot inside, I was immediately greeted by a female staff. The voice had a sweet, vibrant texture. It really caught me off guard. I never expected a girl to be manning the store. I guess she's a part-timer. I turn around to face the person calling out to me, and my jaw drops to the floor. You? Her face lights up when she finally recognizes me. It's Lucy. Oh look, she's all cleaned up.
やっと来てくれたんですね、マスター。首を長くして待っておりました。
It was the android named Lucy Valentine who had greeted me at the door. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? There's no way that useless thing could be standing there talking to me. And what's with that smile? I double check. You're Lucy, right?
はい、そうですよ。ルーシーは他でもないルーシーです。
Well, guess that settles it. How'd you end up like this?
はい、マスター。どうなっているかと言いますと。
That voice in your face. And you're standing on your own, right?
はい、もちろんです、マスター。 ルーシーは今2本足で立っているんです。えへん。
Oh my god. Luffy puffs off her chest, looking proud. I mean, that's not really something to be proud of, but thinking back to how she was before, it was damn well impressive. You do look better now, so there's nothing wrong with you anymore.
はい、マスター。今のルーシーは体が軽く、すぐにでも飛べそうなくらいですよ。
For emphasis, she spins in place like an excited ballerina. She had the appearance of a mature, well-pampered maiden, yet at the same time looked silly like a child. But her spin abruptly ends as she crashes onto the floor, and there goes my peace of mind.
まだ元通りにはなってないみたいですね。
Lucy smiles sheepishly. Well, I'm at a loss for words. That deceptively human voice, her vibrant personality full of such emotion, her face displaying all manner of expressions, each movement burst with spirited passion. To say that I'm amazed would be a gross understatement. My brain's turned to mush. I can't utter a single word. I won't show it on the outside. It's weakness to lose control of your emotions. Well, that, plus, I don't want to admit to her that I'm surprised. It's one heck of a change in just a few hours.
初めてマスターに褒めてもらいました。嬉しい。
I'm complimenting the guy who fixed you up, of course.
そんな。
Oh my god. The look of disappointment on her face was quite surreal. How can I possibly explain this? Magic? Had she been enchanted by a witch? An old childhood story sprang to mind. The nine-tailed fox who desired to become human. The little mermaid who was also wished to become a human. What happened to them? Let's just say they didn't get a happy ending. Oh no, is he already foreshadowing? They're foreshadowing. But this robot makes me think. If that little mermaid's wish ever came true, wouldn't she be celebrating just like this? Enough of this claptrap. Back to the matter at hand, which is, where's the repairman? Say, what happened to the guy who put you in charge?
はい。店長さんは必要な物資を調達するために出かけています。
He's not here? What about his store?
お店は立派な店員が代わりに当番しています。
An assistant? Where?
おほんおほん。
Oh my god. So where is this assistant?
おほんおほん。
I don't see anyone.
おほん。
Well, that sure took the wind out of her sails. She's having more highs and lows than a bipolar patient. Feeling bad for her, I decided to drop the act. Okay, I get it. You're the one in charge for the time being.
そうですマスター。今はルーシーが店番をしています。
She sure bounced back fast. Moreover, what's the deal with the repairman? Leaving Lucy to take care of the store on the first day he's met her? To such a ditzy robot? You have to be a few cards short of a full deck to think this was a smart idea.
マスター、何か考え事でも。
I'm not thinking about anything. Can you stop calling me a master all the time?
でもマスターはマスターです。でも
Use my name
ルーシ
instead.
ーはマスターの名前を知りません。これを機に教えてください。
True, I botched it up last time. Let's run through the choices. Oh, sweet. Enter my name? Menexus. Menexus? I have an even better name. Name's Miss. Yes.
マスター、そんな嘘は通じません。他人を騙すなんて良くないです。嘘は罪です。
Well, you're telling me I'm not.
いえいえいえいえ、そういう意味で言ったわけでは。ミスです、ミス。
She curls up instinctively, thinking she might be scolded for messing up.
そうでなくて、名前に嘘をついたらダメってことです。本当の名前を教えてください。
Really? And why do you think I'm pulling your leg?
さっき名前を入力しているのを見ました。
Oh, come on. Even the game's working against me. Forget it. Just call me Master.
はい、
What was the point of the name entry?
マスター
What?
マスタ
What do you want?
ーなんとなく呼んでみま
Lucy
した
just wanted to say it. Are you messing with me?
いえいえめっそうもございませんマスターと呼べる方がいてとっても嬉しいですだからなんとなく呼んでみました
She cracks a wide smile if she were human. I think she was on drugs, but for a robot, maybe she's still got a screw loose. Or her programming's still corrupted. Whatever the case, I just can't get a beat on her. And where's that stupid repairman? "10 minutes later, the man in question finally shows up. As soon as we lock eyes, the guy makes a beeline towards me and nearly bows me over as he pleads. Please let me have this. What kind of screwed up situation is this? It's like he's asking for my daughter's hand in marriage. I shoot back. No, I will not let you marry her. What are you on about? You high or something? That's my line. What do you think you're doing? It takes some time to collect himself. Maybe I got a bit carried away. Kid, how about I pawn that android off for you? Now, why am I not surprised? You want me to sell her? Yeah, I can give you this much. He takes out his calculator and shows me the figures. My mind goes numb for 5 seconds. Are you serious? Of course. What do you think? Not a bad deal for a student, right? There's a ton of dough, even for an adult. That state this place is in, I don't think he has that kind of capital. He's obviously desperate. I stare at Lucy in silence. The android's frozen like a statue. The face of hers almost looks sad, like a slave about to be sold off at an auction. Well, maybe that's a bit extreme. He's not about to eat you alive or anything. I'll turn back to face the repairman. You'd pay this much? Do you really think Lucy's worth that kind of money? Of course! He yells in excitement. Jeez. Deafened much? Listen carefully. Any decently priced model comes with an AR, a module that allows them to mimic human emotions. You know this much, right? Sure. Well, creating such a model is an incredible complex process. Even then, do you know how well they perform? Compared to a real person, they're still a long ways off. Right, even cutting edge, their mimicking emotion is rudimentary at best. We're still not at that stage where it's considered genuine. I think I'm beginning to see the picture here. Looking back at Lucy, I start to put together what he's trying to tell me. You're a sharp one, teaching kids pretty well these days. So, you savvy what I'm saying? Lucy's an exceptionally well-made robot. Lucy's actually a person disguised as a robot. Lucy's actually a princess under a spell. Lucy's really a princess magically turned into a robot. The only way to lift a curse is a kiss from a handsome knight, right? Judging from the look he's given me, I'd say he's somewhat concerned about my mental well-being. So in that case, think before you speak, alright? I'm joking. You're telling me that Lucy is an exceptionally robot that's about as close as it gets to a real person, right? Honestly, I was quite surprised about that as well. I've never seen a robot that could emulate a real person so well. Even the new models nowadays reveal their flaws after a minute-long conversation. But I couldn't sense anything particularly out of place while chatting with Lucy. It felt just like talking to a real person. Yep, to put it simply, this is a person made out of metal, a human robot, an iron maiden, a revolution in robotic industry. The guy who created Lucy must be a true genius. Uh-huh. That aside, good thing he caught himself before calling Lucy a certain power armor wearing superhero. Nobody likes pretend infringement lawsuits. Anyway, if she was such a spectacular robot, would she really be thrown away like that? I did run into something weird. There's some sort of built-in protection feature that was stopping the robot from working properly. Protection feature. Rings a bell? Something the junk version Lucy might have mentioned yesterday. Whatever it was, she seemed to be doing fine now. And you removed it? Yeah, it wasn't too difficult, because it was just one of those you put on display models. I was curious as to why they would bother doing such a thing before throwing it away. He appears to be lost in thought. It might mean that the inventor wanted to keep this new technology sealed away from humanity. If not, then maybe. What if there was a serious bug? That's what I thought too, so I ran some tests, but I found nothing. It's safe to say that she won't be harming anyone. Why would she ever want to harm people? I'm just saying that she properly obeys 3 laws of robotics. At least she won't be a threat. Ah. The 3 laws of robotics. Okay, yeah, alright, I know. And make sure that humans will always have authority over robots. That's how we can avert any catastrophe. I've heard that if a robot even disobeys one of the laws, it would immediately shut itself down under any circumstances. That's why there aren't any glaring flaws to this system. I shift my focus back to the numbers displayed on the calculator, glancing at Lucy. I'm reminded of a forlorn puppy. It's really bothering me. With some determination, she approaches me.
マスター、お話中申し訳ございませんが。
What's wrong?
多目的用途として作られたルーシーは本当に様々なところで応用が可能です。間違いなくいろいろなところでお役に立てると思います。
Yes, and?
ですからその
So what?
私
I never get tired of seeing Lucy look so depressed. It seems to satisfy the hidden sadist within me. She's really trying to put on a show for me. Essentially, she's a self-advertising product. You don't see that every day. But willing to go this far for me? It'd be too cruel to let her go at this point. I'm not gonna make the deal, so don't worry. As I finish my sentence, the looks on their faces are different as night and day. The repairman sulks while Lucy breathes a sigh of relief. Anyway, she's good to go now, right? Here you go. Resolutely fork over the money, all my hard-earned cash. Bitterly, the repairman accepts the payment after a moment's hesitation. She's better, but be careful not to put any strain on her legs for a while. Keep it light and cut down on the exertions. Sure. So we gotta play piggyback again. Wonderful. She's not too heavy, so I can manage. Thanks for all your help. This guy's really got it bad, particularly bleeding out over the android. Maybe I'll throw him a bone. Look, we'll do regular checkups, sound good? Okay, but make sure to treat her well, and don't overwork her too much. See you later too, Lucy. You can come visit anytime. The look on his face while waving goodbye to Lucy was truly I didn't get to read what that last bit was. I was clicking too fast. This time seemed to be the father seeing his daughter leave with another man. The guy's completely out of it. I definitely made the right choice. Exiting, we head out to the sidewalk. I stop in my tracks. In silence, I kneel down facing away from Lucy. Hop on. I add an explanation to make sure she understands. It means you lightly put your arms around my neck and climb onto my back.
ちょっとお聞きしますが。
What is it?
バカだと思っていますか?
Does Master think that Lucy is dumb? Huh? I guess I no longer have to worry about being choked to death. I feel her weight gradually shift onto my back. For a robot, she's very light. She was probably measured to weigh as a normal girl. Huh?
どうしましたか?
No, it's nothing. As soon as she climbs onto my back, I can't help but notice a fragrant aroma rising from her body. It's neither too intense nor fleeting. It gently spreads evenly along my nose. It starts with a sweet, fruity scent, reminiscent of a youthful girl. Yet there's a hint of spice akin to a mature woman. It doesn't fail to stimulate the mind of a teenage boy going through puberty. This is bad. I've never experienced something like this. It didn't happen this morning, but why now? Probably because of the smell. It wasn't there earlier. Feeling a little faint, I desperately try to grasp of the situation.
脈拍が突然上がっています。
Something
Master,
matter.
どう
She's
かさ
measuring
れ
my
ました
heart
か?
rate. That's not fair. I feel a little embarrassed for revealing that I'm a nervous wreck right now. Unable to hold back, I decide to be honest to myself. This smell, what is it?
あ、この匂いですか？店長さんがいくつかプレゼントしてくれたんです。女性だから自己管理は徹底しないと、と。
She takes out a bottle of perfume amongst many other makeup accessories. Geez, the guy is scary, really scary. He's the type of person who spends the whole day forcing his pet dog into free clothing. If you consider that as animal abuse, wouldn't this be some kind of robot harassment? Well, I don't know. All this stuff just for a robot. What a silly guy. Why are you laughing?
わかりませんが、自然と出てきます。
Had I just been seduced by a robot? Well, there goes all my dignity as a human being.
重くないですか？
What are you going on about now? I purposely tried to sound irritated. It doesn't affect her in any way, however.
ルーシーの体、重くないですか？
Well, you're lighter than I expected.
本当ですか？
Is that really true? Yeah.
お世辞じゃないですよね。女性を上げて落とすのは良くないですよ。
Oh my god. Is that supposed to be funny? Have you been deceived all your life? Maybe I was being too rough on her. I didn't think she started being so skeptical. Before I ruined her completely, I decided to treat her a little kinder from now on. I hear a small giggle coming from my back. Would a robot really feel that flattered to be called light? I don't know. Humans can't be expected to understand a robot's heart. Soon enough, the streets became immersed in an orange glow of the evening sun. Oh! Oh, I can save. Okay, we'll keep going a little bit longer here before I end it. The scenery was changing more slowly than usual today. Maybe it's because I'd been carrying Lucy on my back. But it's not that a lot of time had passed. Winter was just on its way, as evidenced by these increasingly shorter days. Lucy hasn't said anything for a while. I steal a glance at her, wondering if she's asleep, but she's not. She appears to be lost in thought, staring at everything in sight. She looks like a child inside a pleasant dream. I can see her eyes sparkling. Is it really that fascinating?
何がですか？
This place.
あ、はい。本当に素晴らしいと思います。
I can't say if I agree with that. Unlike downtown, there aren't many distractions here to keep us busy. Nor are we near any beautiful landscapes. We're just walking down a plain old street that you can find anywhere. What part of this place do you find marvelous?
すべてです。
Everything?
はい。すべてが素晴らしいです。昔は外出するときも許可が必要でしたから。外に出てこんな風に散歩する機会は数えるほどしかありませんでした。そうですね。強いて言えば、こうして動いている間にも周りの景色が変わっていくのが、ルーシーの知らない風景がまた別の何かに変わっていく姿が、こうしてゆっくり景色を眺められるということが、そういうのがとても不思議に思います。本当に素晴らしいと思います。
Oh, I see. Totally forgot to. I got so lost into like reading it, I totally forgot to read it. I couldn't relate to the sensation she just described.
Master?
What is it?
本当に申し訳ありません。
What's with you all of a sudden? I'm caught off guard by the unexpected apology. Has she really done anything wrong?
ルーシーが今日 迷惑ばかりかけましたよね。
Oh, no.
申し訳ございません。
Oh,
も
it
と
makes
も
me
と
feel
は
bad.
落ち着いた性格で、制作段階では他人を理解できる包容力をメインコンセプトにして設計されたのですが、
Found it strange how Lucy was telling me what kind of a person she was supposed to be. If anyone other than Lucy had told me the same thing, I'd probably have laughed at them. Anyone by himself will never be able to find out what kind of person he truly is. Sitting in front of a mirror reveals all the flaws of your body. Sitting in front of a person reveals all the flaws in your personality. If you ever want to find out something about yourself, it needs to be reflected back to you by something else. That is why attempting to describe your own personality is the same as describing what kind of person you'd actually want to be. It'd just be a bunch of pretentious nonsense. But this is the only case for humans. Lucy is an android. She's not human. That's why it doesn't sound strange coming from her.
初めてマスターになる人に巡り会えて嬉しかったんです。久しぶりの起動だったからか騒ぎ立ててしまったこともありますが、
It was such a natural explanation about how she felt. She was happy to meet her first master, and she was happy to be able to finally move around again. You've never served anyone else before.
はい、マスターが初めてのマスターです。
Is that so? So she's a new model that no one has ever touched. That line of thinking sounds dirty, but that's not what I mean.
研究所にいた頃は楽しかったです。そこにいたみんながよくしてくれました。いろいろな話をして、いろいろなことを教わりました。
A lab, did she say? Oh, I'm sure they treated her well.
何か面白い答えを出したり、指示された行動をすると、たくさんの人が喜んでくれたんです。特に真面目に貢献した時には、ルーシーは本当に賢いと頭を撫でながら褒めてくださいました。ルーシーはそれがとても嬉しかった。嬉しくて、もっとたくさんのことを学び、もっとたくさん話をしました。そうすればするほど、もっと可愛がってくれたんです。
They were probably just testing her abilities. In my mind, I found the whole scenario unsettling. To Lucy, however, it's a treasured memory of her past. There's an important question yet to be answered. Then why were you abandoned? I've always been meaning to ask her, but I can't easily bring myself to do so. I ask myself why. Maybe it's because I'm starting to care about this robot's feelings. I shake my head. That's just plain nuts. It's only because she sounds just like a real person. It's a dangerous thought. Let it get out of my head. I blurt out the question. Then why were you abandoned? Lucy goes silent. Nothing is said for a while. The quietness stretches into an awkward silence. I start to regret asking the
みん
question.
な、ルーシーのことが嫌いになったのだと思います。
Oof. Those words, Lucy finally breaks the
いつから
silence.
かみんな、ルーシーに笑いかけなくなりました。みんな、ルーシーを褒めてくれなくなりました。みんな、ルーシーのメインシステムを起動してくれなくなりました。予備電力で時間が経つのだけは感知できました。何もできないまま、ただ時間だけが過ぎていく感覚だけを感じ、そしてある日、
Then one day she found herself left in the dust, is what she probably wanted to say. Maybe they didn't like something about her, or they found a significant flaw within her design. But I don't like the fact that they just tossed her aside after giving her so much love and attention. Aren't they being too inconsiderate? Small rage boils inside of me, directed at those cruel researchers with no sense of responsibility. When I regain my senses after a few seconds, I become surprised at how angry I was. What was I thinking? They were just throwing away a failed experiment. The object on my back is nothing more than an impressive fake. She's not real. She's not a living creature. It's only natural that useless machinery is thrown away. There's no need for me to be so angry.
マスター、また脈拍が上がっています。どうかしましたか？
It's nothing. And stop measuring that all the time.
でも、 自動で体温を測るようプログラムされています。
Then it's an order. I'll order you not to measure anything from now on.
命令ですか？それでは仕方ありませんね。
There's another silence, but this time, not an unpleasant one.
ですからマスターにはとても感謝しています。
I just can't seem to figure out this robot's train of thought. What?
捨てられてどのくらいの時が流れたのかわかりません。でもルーシーにとっては永遠にも等しい時間でした。周りは暗闇で人の気配など全くなくて、とても暗くてとても静かで、とても寂しかった。そんな中マスターの声が聞こえました。
I don't remember talking to you like that.
それでもルーシーにとってはまるで天使のささやきのようでした。何もない暗闇の中に初めて一筋の光が差したのです。ルーシーに何度も何度も声をかけてくれました。
You're overreacting. She's definitely going overboard with this. I just happened to notice her while casually passing
マスター
by.
に気づいてもらえるよう必死でした。残りの力を振り絞って、そしたら今まで動かなかった腕が動いたのです。
There were only a few words which didn't contain any significant meaning. It was only on a moment's whim that I'd taken her home. But I was surprised those simple actions were such a big help to the robot.
ルーシーに手を差し伸べてくれたこと、本当に感謝しています。
Being able to say the most embarrassing things without hesitation. I guess that's one of the advantages of being a robot. I can feel my face beginning to flush. I quickly duck in order to hide my embarrassment. Shut up. I'm gonna make you pay for what you're worth, so you better be ready for it.
はい、マスター。覚悟しておきます。
What's so funny? Why do you keep laughing like that? It's creeping
わ
me
かりま
out.
せん。さっきから笑いが自然とこみ上げてくるんです。故障みたいです。どうしましょう。
Lucy quietly rests her cheeks against my shoulder. The sensation of her soft skin causes me to flinch. She feels very much different compared to this morning. It feels as if I'm carrying a real person on my back instead of a robot. I start to wonder what could be causing this difference in perception. Was it just the placebo effect, or had something really changed since this morning? If something really did change, was it me, or the robot? I continued to ponder over the question on the way home. I never managed to come up with an answer. There we go. October 13th. You. Alright. We'll save that right there. And we will return to the title screen. Alrighty, well I think that'll be the first episode to Lucy the Eternity She Wished For. If you guys enjoyed that video, please give it a like and subscribe, leave a comment if you want, and I'll catch you all on the next one.